Okay, sorry about the wait, folks. That was a bit indisposed for a second. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into the stream for tonight. Huh. My camera does not appear to be working tonight. I'll have to fix that later. Well, anyway, welcome everyone to my, hello, my name is Steve, and this is my, weekly stream for Extra Life Los Angeles, where I'm going through the, A to Z challenge in Dota. For those of you guys who don't know what that is, there's about 110 characters in Dota 2, and I'm trying to win a match with every one of them in alphabetical order. So tonight we're going to watch 3 of the games that I played today. And I'm going to talk about the heroes that I played and just the overall, just what happened in the match. And it should be fun. Should be fun. Let's go ahead and jump into the first replay. It's going to be an Ogre Magi. Ogre Magi, however you like to say it, is the hero. While this is loading, just a reminder, this is an Extra Life stream, like I said earlier. And if you don't know what Extra Life is, we're a video game charity. We raise money for children's hospitals all across the US and Canada. I personally raise money for Children's Hospital Los Angeles. Our main fundraiser is an event that takes place once a year every year. It's a 24-hour gaming marathon. So the way it works is you sign up to be a part of the marathon, you get a fundraising page, and I'm sorry, I got distracted by something on the screen there. But yeah, we have a big 24-hour marathon. You get a fundraising page, you get your friends and family to donate on your behalf, and you let me start over. There's a 24-hour marathon, happens every year. This year it's on November 7th. The way it works is you sign up to be part of the marathon, you get a fundraising page that you can send to family and friends and get them to donate to the hospital on your behalf, and then on November 7th you play games for 24 hours and you fulfill your commitment that you made to all those people. And that's basically what Extra Life is. And what I'm doing is, for this stream, is I'm just streaming a bunch, like once a week, to try and help raise awareness for the marathon. You can also donate to my page. There are links on my channel. If you want more information about Extra Life, there is a lot of information on the links on the channel, whichever channel you're watching it on. So yeah, like I said, this game, that's the other team. This team I was playing Ogre Magi. He's a support hero. He's a melee support, which is a little bit rare. I actually lucked out in that I got another support on my team. This guy here is playing a Shadow Shaman, who is a ranged support. We've got a Bane on our team, who's a mid lane or our safe lane carry. We've got Tiny, who usually goes mid lane. He's a melee carry. And who else? We got a Spectre, who is a hard carry. She looks to be going bottom lane with me. So let's talk about my hero to start off with. He's a fairly tanky support, meaning he starts out with a lot of hit points, and he has a fairly decent strength gain. See, we had this guy here camping out on the rune. Yeah, we probably weren't going to get it, but we ended up fighting over it.
The battle begins.
I mean, I went on sniper. Oh yeah, this goes really badly. I remember they get the Spectre off the bat. Yeah. So my thinking was we should go on this guy, the sniper here, because he is the least tanky of the enemy team. But I guess they got kind of body blocked over here by the rune and couldn't make it up here to where the sniper was. So what I really should have done was turn around and gone on one of the other guys. So we gave up first blood there. They did get the rune, so that's kind of bad for my team all around. Anyway, back to my hero. He's a fairly tanky support hero. Like he starts off with 23 strength and he has a decent strength gain, so you don't have to worry about dying as much as you do on some of the other supports in the game. And his spells are good, but they cost a lot of mana, so you end up running out of mana very quickly on this hero, which is sort of the problem that I kind of ran into in this game. So you kind of have to be careful more about how you use your spells than about positioning and how you stand in lane. Because you see, I'm actually kind of doing pretty well as far as CS is going, and they're not really pushing our lane, and I'm not having to focus on denies too much. So he's that kind of support where you can also fight in lane, but then I messed up and I stayed way too long. I think I die here. Yeah, they get me here. So yeah, what happened was I pushed it a little bit too far, and he was able to use his first skill, Charge of Darkness, to stun me, and he got lucky with a bash there. This is only a 17% chance to stun me like it did over here, so that's why I kind of felt safe farming that far up, but really I should have backed off a little bit earlier and I would have been safe under tower by the time the charge landed. So, you know, small mistake for me, I ended up feeding there, and it's not really the best way to start out the game. You got a Spectre here, she's a hard carry like I said earlier, which is basically, that just means that she scales well in the late game and can be very powerful with items. So that's like, the roles in Dota, the way they tend to work is the supports are strong early game and then kind of taper off in the middle of the game, whereas carries are weak in the early game and they get really strong late in the game. So at this point I'm sort of trying to keep the Spectre from dying a lot so that we can get her farmed up so she can get a lot of gold and experience, so she can have her skills be really powerful, and so that she can have lots of items that make her hit really hard or disable enemy opponents. So that's why, well, I haven't really bought that much yet, but that's why I put down this ward over here. This is actually more for the middle lane, for Tiny here, because he is probably going to get a bottle at some point, and then come down here to get these runes. So if I put this ward here, he can see which rune is here and which rune, and then by process of elimination, he'll know what rune has spawned up on the top. It's just sort of one way to support. The other thing I did is I bought this courier here, and I recently, like a couple seconds ago actually, I upgraded to a flying courier so that we can get our items from the base a little bit faster. Yeah, in the early laning, I think Spectre and I did not do a great job of communicating with each other. She would, because we would do a better job of harassing these guys out of experience range if we would coordinate on a single enemy. So like if we would both use our spells on Spirit Breaker, like now, we could force him to go out of the lane, but we kind of, like, she would go on Sniper, and then Sniper would back off and heal up, and then I would go on Spirit Breaker, and then Spirit Breaker would back off and heal up, so that there was always one of them in experience range, so that they were always getting more powerful throughout the early game. So, you know, kind of a failure of communication early game from us. Yeah. But yeah, see, that was my second spell I just threw on Spirit Breaker there. You can see it's doing a little bit of damage over time on him, but it doesn't do a ton early. Yeah, that's Ignite. Basically, it just does a little bit of damage over time, and it slows them, and it does a mini stun. Wait, no. That's, yeah, I'm sorry, I got confused. Fire Blast is the one with the mini stun. So yeah, that's basically what kept happening to us in the early game, is Spirit Breaker. See, the enemy team did what we are not doing, which is they focused down one of us and then went on the other one. So Spectre was up here farming, and Sniper started shooting her a couple times, and then Spirit Breaker used his charge on her and stunned her, and then they both focused her down until she was dead, and then there was really no way for me to get away. If we were to do that to, say, the Sniper, where we both attack him at the same time, it would work out much better for us than it has been. But we didn't really communicate, and so we kind of fed on this lane. And see, they've got 4 kills on us already, and all of those are me and... yeah, me and Spectre are the only people who've died on our team. So we are really not doing very well this game. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's Ignite. It just damage over time and it slows. And then there's Fire Blast, which does a lot of damage, and it does a mini stun, like 1.5 seconds, which is not a very long stun. So here we go again. I don't think he gets her this time. No. Yeah. You see, we do a much better job when we both are hitting the same enemy. Like that time, Spirit Breaker went on us, but we both turned around and attacked him with our skills, and he was able to do, you know, far less damage, and he didn't get the kill, and we survived. So that's what we should have been doing earlier, but we just kind of weren't. The third skill here is Bloodlust. It's basically just a buff. It gives you move speed and attack speed. It's not that great, really. So you see, this symbol means that Spirit Breaker is using his charge ability, which we've seen Spirit Breaker in games before, but basically, yeah, he does that. He runs at maximum movement speed, and he runs into an enemy and he stuns them. Thing is, in this case, he didn't really communicate that to anybody on the enemy team, so there's really no follow-up for it. And then Ogre Magi's ultimate, which is really one of the most interesting... well, it's kind of not... it's kind of weird because it's not actually a spell, it's a passive. And there aren't a ton of ultimates in Dota that are passives. Oh my gosh. See, I'm gonna miss a lot of kills in these games because I'm mostly talking about like hero skills and things like that. But let's back that up. Yeah, so... dang. Alright, so what happened there was Bounty Hunter on the enemy team, this guy, he was invisible standing over here. And the enemy Treant Protector, let's see, used his ultimate ability, Overgrowth, to lock Shadow Shaman and Bane in place here. And then everybody just wailed on him, and it was just, that's a standard gank. Like, you want to have a hero waiting outside of enemy vision, and then you want to use a stun or a disable of some kind to get 1 or preferably 2 or 3 heroes locked in place, and then the person who's hiding can come in and clean up. Alright, so that was actually a really good play from Shadow Shaman here. He used his what was it? He used shackles to lock the Venomancer in place underneath the tower, and the tower basically just killed him. So that's a good play from Shadow Shaman. And then up here we saw Spectre died again. That's the thing about super hard carries like Spectre. If they start to get behind, they can never really... oh, that was bad. That was... yeah, I could have casted Ignite there, and I didn't. I don't know why I didn't. We probably could have killed Spirit Breaker if I had used my ability. I probably just misclicked. I have been... it's been really hot while I've been playing games, and I don't want to make excuses, but it's been kind of hard to focus. And I've been misclicking a lot more than I usually do on stuff. So I probably just messed that up. Anyway, multicast, my ultimate here, it basically just gives you a chance to double cast your spells or cast multiple spells all at once without actually necessarily taking them off cooldown. So you can cast Fire Blast on somebody, and it'll actually cast 2 Fire Blasts on the one person, or it'll cast a Fire Blast on the person that you've targeted and somebody standing next to them, or stuff like that. And the number of casts depends on, it's all random chance. So you can see there at the bottom that double cast chance is like 40% of the time, and at level 1 it's 0 for 3 and 4. So it gets, the chance to cast. See there, you just saw it happen. I cast Fire Blast twice on Venomancer, and then I got over aggressive and died. So yeah, it's kind of clear what happened. Sometimes I'll watch replays and I'll be like, oh, this is totally not my fault that we lost this game. I was doing fine, and up on the other lane, they just got completely wrecked. And that's not true this game. This game, it's probably my fault. Although I don't have the most deaths on my team, which is always nice. So we see Tiny coming in, using his avalanche, and not much comes from that. Alright, so now I can talk about how to support a little bit more, because I've actually bought some support items for the first time since the opening. So that was a mistake. See, I'm not sure what revealed us, though. Alright, so what I did was I used Smoke of Deceit over here, and that should have made me and Bane invisible. But somewhere there must have been an enemy hero who was within vision range of us, and that popped our smoke. Which usually, I guess it must have been the bounty hunter or somebody invisible or something, because so that was just, this is mostly just bad initiation from my team. Although we did trade, so that's good. That was just, we saw 2 down here, and I guess didn't realize that there was a couple over here by the secret shop, and then when we went to go and attack them, the rest of the enemy team came out and just sort of wiped us out. So that's one of those things where Dota is kind of... Angles are really important in Dota. Like, if you can cut somebody off from their escape route, or you can come in from a direction that they are, not expecting, you can do a lot of work just with your right clicks and 1 or 2 spells. You don't have to necessarily use your ultimates and do all kinds of crazy high skill plays if you get angles on people. But yeah, back to the support items. So these are wards. These give you vision. So let's see, like the one I placed here gave us vision of this rune spot. Well, now I'm probably gonna, I think I hang on to this one and use it on the bottom lane or something. Oh no, I put it here in the lane, so you can see it gives vision in this area here. So what I'm just kind of doing is, we lost our tower here, so we don't have very good vision in this area anymore. So I put this ward down just to kind of cover that, so that if we're like going to our secret shop over here to pick up items, or if we want to push, we know that this area is safe because we can see that there's no enemies there. That's one of the other things that differentiates Dota from other sort of MOBAs, is that the map is really, really big. It's way bigger than a lot of Here's the Storm maps, and it's a little bit bigger than League of Legends maps usually are. So vision is a little bit more important, and it's sort of more cost effective to spend a lot of money to maintain vision and keep map control. So we see Spirit Breaker using his charge and then getting nightmared. So that actually works pretty well. So Bane's got a skill. Let's see, which one is it? Which one is it? Fiend's Grip. So the way that her no wait, no. Yeah, Nightmare is a skill. It basically puts an enemy to sleep, and anybody who attacks that enemy gets the nightmare transferred onto him. So basically, it's a lockdown spell that you cast on somebody, and then lets the rest of your team sort of... Oh god, there's so much happening right now. So we saw Spirit Breaker coming with a charge. They nuke me down, and then they turn and take Bane out, and now they're gonna run. I don't know. They could probably get more kills here, but they were under tower, so it's probably just being safe and backing off. Really... not much really to be said about that fight. It was just they had more heroes in the area than we did when it started, so they won. And here comes another charge from Spirit Breaker. They're getting really aggressive. So that one was probably not necessary. And then I TP'd in because I thought we were going to keep fighting under the tower, and I think I die again here? Yeah. Or I might make it out. No. No. Yeah. So you saw me use Dust of Appearance there. That was just in case the Bounty Hunter was somewhere around setting up on the Bane. I wanted to give her a vision of him. The way that this item works, Dust of Appearance, is basically you saw the effect it goes off when you cast it. But anything that's invisible in the area of effect of it will be slowed and revealed for a few seconds. Alright, so we see Spirit Breaker getting taken out there. That was just a pretty basic combo from Tiny. He used his Avalanche and Toss, which do a lot of damage. Now they're going to go on Sniper. I don't think... They do get him. Wow, alright. And then... Inspector's going to back off. We might even... Don't think we're going to get this tower, because there's still two of them up. Yeah, they've tracked 2. Oof. Yeah, the thing is, the Bounty Hunter is has gotten pretty good farm already. He's got... Oh, and he's building Bounty Hunter correctly. You know, a lot of times people just pick Bounty Hunter and think, oh, he goes invisible, I'm totally safe, and then they'll just get Shuriken. When really what you want to get is his Janata. And the way that this works is, this spell makes you invisible, and then this spell will croc anytime that you do an auto attack or throw a shuriken at somebody while you're invisible. Oh, wrong here. So that you get a crit damage of 225% at level 4. So he gets double damage plus 25% every time he hits somebody while he's invisible, or throws a shuriken at them while he's invisible. So it's a lot of damage, and if you max it out first, you can solo kill pretty much anybody early on. Let's see, we get gone on there. I try to get... Oh, we do get the sniper, but I just get nuked down so fast now in these fights that it just doesn't do a whole lot. So Tiny's gonna get taken out, but you did see him throw his combo off, which is wrong. Which is Avalanche Toss. The way that works is you avalanche into people and then you can throw them, or even allies, or creeps. And then when they land, or if it's an allied unit, when it hits something, it does a lot of damage. And they also take 230, or no, 300 from Avalanche, and then 75 from the toss. It's really a lot of damage all at once. He's getting pretty good farm. And then I went up to the top lane to farm, I guess? I'm pretty close to the tower, so it's kind of safe here. I'm just kind of saving up for more items. Blink Dagger coming out on the Freeman Protector, and a Shadow Blade already on... what's that guy's name? Spirit Breaker. Yeah, this is getting kind of crazy. Yeah, so there's an Avalanche. And that's Shadow Shaman's Ether Shock. It's just a basic area of effect nuke. It does a fair amount of damage. Haven't talked too much about this guy. He's got a hex, which, you know, basically it turns an enemy into an animal for up to 3.5 seconds. See another Spirit Breaker charge coming in. Oh god. So, yeah, at this point, he is just kind of wrecking shop. Yeah, Charge of Darkness does 750 damage when it hits, and now he's got 40% of his movement speed is translated into damage. Oh, but he does this. We did do some damage to him there, but then he turned on his Shadow Blade and he ran away. And then I was there to dust, but he was long gone, so that was basically a waste for me. Let's think about being a support hero is the efficiency side of it that comes into things. There's a little bit more with how you use your items than necessarily what you buy. So with Tiny here, for example, you see he built treads into Drum of Endurance, into Blink Dagger, and now he's probably working on a BKB. And it's more about what he's choosing to buy, where he wants to be efficient, whereas it's sort of I can buy a lot of these support items. It kind of, as long as I keep them on cooldown in the shop, it kind of doesn't matter that much what I buy, as long as I'm using them, efficiently and not being wasteful like I was over here, because I pretty much knew that Spirit Breaker wasn't in the area that would be. Oh man, they're just wrecking shop on poor Shadow Shaman.
Radiant's bottom tower
How
is under
much?
attack.
Well, when he. Oh yeah, this time Spirit Breaker went on me. They're just gonna blow me up. Yep. So that was like 400 damage from one hit. Where are you? There he is. Yeah. And he can do that every 6 seconds. Yeah. It's a lot of damage. Plus he's got a Demon Edge and a Desolator already, so the way these items work is this gives you 50 damage, but it also reduces whatever you're hitting. It reduces their armor by 7 every time you hit it. So if you look at somebody like Shadow Shaman here, he has 2 armor. So if when he gets hit one time by the Bounty Hunter, he's going to be at -5 armor already. And then he hits him again, and he's at -12. So, and he only has 777 hit points. So he's basically getting 2-shot by Bounty Hunter at this point, which is kind of really unfortunate for him. And like I said, I'm kind of a tankier support. I've only got a Circlet and boots and a Ironwood branch, and I'm level 9, and I'm already past 1,000 hit points just because I'm naturally tanky, because I started at 26 strength, even though I'm technically an intelligence hero. So it's really, Ogre Magi is really kind of Ogre Magi. I never really know how to say the second part of this guy's name, but he's really weird when it comes to being a spellcaster, intelligence hero, and a support. He's really tanky. Oh man. God. Oh, and I'm just walking into this. I don't think I even knew this was all happening here. And then I saw him, and I tried to run. Oh, but then I turned around. Yeah, okay, so it looks like we're gonna get... Maybe. Will it happen here? No. See, he 2-shots me, and I have over 1,000 hit points. He's also got a Vladimir's Offering already, which gives +2 armor to everybody on his team, making everybody else really tanky. Sniper's got a Mask of Madness and a Yasha. Bounty Hunter just picked up 2 more kills. Jeez. Yeah, we are kind of just getting wrecked at this point. Let's take a look at some of the graphs here. So difference in net worth, they are over 10,000 ahead. And you see they've been in the lead the whole time. difference in experience. Same thing. Not quite over 10,000, but they're way, way ahead. It's just really... We never really got any traction in this game. You see how fast these kills are happening? Like, there's... Although we did trade there. So trades are sort of good for us. Huh, I'm not seeing the fight recap pop up. That's kind of weird. Must have waited too long. But yeah, so I'm basically just still, you know, it's 25 minutes in, and I still have just brown boots, an Ironwood branch, and a circlet. We're gonna watch another Ogre Magi game in a minute, or in a few minutes, and you'll see the sort of items that you're sort of supposed to have at 25 minutes, and that will be interesting because I'm so far behind this game. I've only been buying support items, and it's really making me slightly less useful in fights. Like, my hero actually is pretty useful without any items at all. Like, you can see, I only do 83 damage from, you know, my right click, but I'm doing 120. Wait, no, that's the mana cost. I'm doing 220 for every single cast of Fire Blast I'm getting, and I've got a 40% chance to double that. So a little under half the time I'm doing 400 damage in a single spell. Same thing with yeah, it's 50 damage a second for 8 seconds, so it's like 400? Wait, no. 200 damage total. Plus that can get double cast as well, so that's 400. Oh god. So... yeah, even their supports are doing crazy amounts of damage. Like, well, really,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
yeah, see, Venomancer kind of has the item build that I should have by this point. Like, yeah, the Venomancer hasn't gotten crazy farmed like their carries have. He's got a wand, which every time an enemy casts a spell around him, he gets a charge for that, and each charge will give him 15 health and mana. So, you know, you get 15 of those, you do a pretty big chunk of burst healing. He's got a mechanism which heals everybody on his team for 250, gives him an armor bonus for a few seconds, and it heals, it gives armor, and it gives him a lot of good stats. Like, he's got +5 to all attributes, also +5 armor. So he's really tanky because of this. And then he's already got his point booster and his arcane boots. So at 25 minutes, or no, almost 30 minutes, he is at the correct level of farm for support. That's where I should be. And I have a circlet, an Ironwood branch, and brown boots. So I am $250 away from having his worst item. Yeah, he's way far ahead. So yeah, now I've actually got a point in Bloodlust because I've got all my other skills. It's really his worst spell. It does help to push. Like, if you get a multicast on you and a couple other creeps, you can push out a lane really fast. But that's only if you've got items that make you a little bit stronger and give you more of a right click, because all it does is it gives you movement speed and attack speed. So you really want to cast this on carries before the fight starts. And if you can't get it off ahead of time, like if you're trying to cast in the middle of a fight, it's kind of a waste because, you know, you've already done half of the damage you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, you see, we got a little bit of a dip up there when we got a kill, but now it's kind of just flattened off, and as soon as they take another building, it'll be right back up, and you see different in XP. Yeah, we got down to more than 12,000 XP difference. We really got wrecked this game. Sniper farming. Where is everybody on the enemy team? There we go. See, I had the Fog of War turned in correctly. Yeah, so they're taking Roshan here. Bounty Hunter's gonna pick it up now. Wonder what happened to his... Oh, he built a Monkey King bar, so now he never misses. He has a 0 chance to miss, I think. And he gets a mini bash. He's got a chance to mini bash every time he hits something. So he is a really... Oh! So yeah, you saw that was Toss. That's a really useful skill, but then Shadow Shaman gets caught out, and now Bane is going to get run down. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's just... They have so much better items and farm at this point. There's really not much we can do. Maybe if I rate this, it'll stop doing that. There we go. All right. That's bothering me the whole game. All right. So we see here comes Spirit Breaker. He's going to charge down here. That's one of the other useful things about this hero's main ability, Charge of Darkness, is that he kind of doesn't need to buy Teleportation Scroll, because he can just turn on his charge onto creeps, and then he can just run at maximum movement speed all the way across the map, ignoring all terrain effects. So it's really powerful movement ability that he's got, in addition to doing 700 damage when he hits you, or 750. So yeah, he's really useful for like split pushing. Brain Sap did absolutely nothing. So yeah, right now he's under the effects of Nightmare, so anything that would attack him would be put to sleep. It's just, we don't really have much. So at this point we're kind of doing everything we can, just staying in base and defending our towers. But once all 5 of them are grouped up like this, it's just a matter of time before they go on someone, and they're going on good old Shadow Shaman again. So yeah, really, that was kind of not the best fight for them to take there. So yeah, we do pop the Aegis, and we did get Spirit Breaker. We might get Treant Protector here. I don't remember if we do, but you know, they do get me. So that's just one, really. The 1 for 3 trade isn't bad, but you know, you can see here they still have ultimates up. They still have lots of really powerful spells, and they can just, you know, just 2 of them can take down 1. Well, that's actually pretty good. Nice! See, that was a really good use of Toss. It doesn't do a lot of damage on its own necessarily, but then, you know, if you throw a friendly hero at somebody, they can do a lot of damage. So that was a 5 for 1. I wonder why it's not showing fight recaps like it does in the regular client. Huh. It's kind of in a regular replay there would be a fight recap, and I could show you exactly what happened there. So let's take a look. So you see that, you know, we killed all 5 of them, but it didn't really do that much for us. Well, in terms of experience, it did a lot, but it didn't really do that much. Oh god. Yeah. So that was just Shadow Shaman got a little bit aggressive, a little bit too aggressive, tried to push a little bit too hard. You really can't force stuff when you're behind in Dota. You have to be really careful about how you choose to farm and where. Oh yeah, this was me. I was just being an idiot. You know, like I was saying, you gotta be careful about where you farm, and I thought that being this close to my base, You see how close I was? I was still not really safe. And I got myself, and probably the tiny kill there, so that was really, really dumb. Excuse me. Yeah, they do so much damage to towers, plus they've got that Desolator on the Bounty Hunter, which it reduces the armor of buildings also. Oh wow. Stuff is happening. Yeah, but it's not really... See, I'm a bit... So really what happened there was that we didn't have enough... Well, I almost said we don't have enough lockdown, but we do. We have... The thing is, though, that if we lock down one of them, the rest of the team is still so powerful that they can kill us and interrupt our, spells that are, stunning someone or holding someone in place, so that we really can't do much off of our stuns. You saw what happened there. Like, Tiny used his Avalanche, which stunned like 3, and then Shadow Shaman hexed somebody and then shackled somebody, but because we couldn't, we couldn't necessarily get all of them, it wasn't enough to really take a team fight. Yeah, anyway, you see structures, they start with like 10 armor, so like I was saying about the Bounty Hunter, every time he hits something it loses 7 armor because of Desolator, so in 2 hits, these buildings, 2 hits from him, these buildings have no armor at all. Well, the towers have more armor than the barracks do, but it's still not that many hits before it's... Oh gosh. Yeah, so now I'm getting solo killed, pretty much, by Spirit Breaker, which is, the story of the game. Who then gets nightmared, but it's not going to be... I mean, even the supports are sort of man-fighting our carries and surviving from it. Oof. We got Venomancer, and he's finally taken down their 2 supports. But by this time, where was Sniper for that whole thing? Yeah, so he was pushing out lanes. I don't know what he was doing, actually. Oh, wow. See, he just pops people at this point. He's got so much... Yeah, so he picked up a Diffusal Blade, which gives him 25 agility, which translates... See, he's got 230 extra damage on top of his 172. Plus, he gets a 225% crit if he hits somebody from invisibility, so he really just sort of wrecks shop on everybody. And he reduces armor of buildings, and he's got a chance to bash with the Sanjanyasha, and his attack speed is really high because of the Sanjanyasha, and this and that, and he also mana drains people because of Diffusal Blade, and he has a ton of armor and lifesteal, and he gives armor to everybody on his team. So yeah, really, really well played by the Bounty Hunter. Really good item choices all around. I mean, he's at this point he's far enough ahead. He could probably get a butterfly or something. Yeah, I'm not really sure what his next item would be. He could get Boots of Travel so that he can TP into the base and kill buildings from behind, but he kind of doesn't need to. Yeah, I'm going to be looking at the enemy team at this point a lot, just because my team is so far behind that they're not buying new items, so there's not really that much that's interesting to talk about. Oh yeah, this is an interesting... Where is it? Alright, so you see this sort of ring of, these rings of grass things. These are... What's happening is, Treant Protector here is using his ultimate ability, or no, he's bought this item called Aghanim Scepter, which has given him a special extra ability called Eyes in the Forest, which basically lets him turn these trees into wards, so that they're like, they don't have true sight, I don't think, but they do have, you know, the same kind of vision as... Oh god. They have the same kind of vision as observer wards. So, yeah, yeah. I just got really over-aggressive there. Well, he did toss me way out of position, and there wasn't a whole lot that I could do to get away at that point. But anyway, Tree and Protector, he's got his Aghanim Scepter, which gives him that Eyes in the Forest ability. It also powers up some of his other abilities. He's got a Blink Dagger and a Sange. So he's actually really tanky, and he has great mobility, and he can stun people. So, yeah, he's pretty tanky for a support.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's kind of weird. What did Spirit Breaker end up getting? Alright, he got a Blade Mail, which lets him reflect damage. Alright, the game's gonna be over in a second. He got a Heaven's Halberd, which lets him disarm people. Oh yeah, we already talked about his items. Yeah, not sure what Sniper was trying to accomplish there. Oh, he's got a Shiva's Guard, which basically lets him cast a big area of effect slow all around him and gives him a lot of armor, makes him really tanky. Yeah, really, they could be ending the game now, but they're kind of just messing around. Trying to get free kills. And that's the game. So, there wasn't a ton of mistakes necessarily on my team this game. It was really just more of a few little mistakes that early on that we didn't recover from correctly, and we just sort of... Like, there was no really big one moment in the game where we lost. This was one of those games where it was a cascade of, you know, a few mistakes early on in lane, a few more mistakes, small mistakes, you know, when we went to team fight and tried to take towers, a few more when we were trying to defend or farm up items so that we could try to catch up, and it just ended up snowballing so that we never even had a chance to get back in the game. And that's one of the things that happens in Dota, although, you know, we did do one team wipe there towards the middle. That might have been able to sort of give us some momentum back, but we were unable to coordinate and take anything because of that fight, so it kind of... didn't work. So that's the first game for tonight. What time is it? 7:30? We'll just jump into the next game. Oh yeah, I've been neglecting chat. Oh, hello. Let me see if there's any questions. I think I kind of covered those. Yeah, these are VODs. I don't always do this. I prefer to do it this way just because when I'm actually playing, I'm not necessarily a good enough player to talk about what's happening as it's happening. But when I watch a replay like this, it's a lot easier for me to just to keep track of what's going on. Even though in team fights, like if you saw that last game, it was a lot of me just talking about the fight after it happened as opposed to while it was happening. But I still prefer doing it this way. It's a lot more relaxed for me when I'm actually playing and when I'm doing the stream. I would prefer to actually get a few banked so that I... Oh god. Please. No, I need to. I need to get this all set. There we go. Okay, alright, yeah. So again, I'm playing Ogre Magi. This is the enemy team that I'm looking at. I'm not really sure why. What did they have? They had a gyrocopter, a Pudge, a Pugna, a Witch Doctor, and their last guy has not picked yet. See, they're all still in base while my team has already moved out. You know, we're much more organized. We had a TA who went mid, Templar Assassin, kind of an interesting hero. She is agility carry. She gets, her abilities are really sort of cool. I have not had a chance to play her yet. I'm really looking forward to getting up to the letter T in this A to Z challenge so that I can play as her, but we're going to have some action around the rune, I think. So, yeah, I come up here because this is the highest ground around this ward, and it gives us the best vision of it. But then you see, I can't see Pugna up there, so as soon as he starts hitting me, if we look at my vision there, see, I don't see him. See, that's, I had both teams' vision on until he started hitting me. So then I backed off a little bit, but now I have information. I know he's up there, so I put down this ward, so as soon as he comes down, I see him. And we get the ward. I get a spell off. You know, basically, we just kind of, we take oh no, we didn't take it. We just tried to fight, but it didn't really end up working. Like, I thought we were all going to go straight back to lane. If I'd stuck around, I probably could have got another spell off. And this Earthshaker kind of blocked half of us with his fissure. So, you know, we got the rune, and that's really what we were going for there. Huh, I guess they had a fifth. I don't know why. I guess the replay is bugged or something, and it's not showing the guy's icon. There was a fifth person in this game. I can't remember who it was, though. Alright, so we're going on a gyrocopter, but yeah, he turns it around on us. I think he kind of gets away, yeah. Because my spell is still on its cooldown. And Zeus has no mana. Not necessarily the best attempt at a kill there, but you know, we did force him out of lane. Okay, there's Sand King. That's who it was. Sand King. They picked a Sand King. Those jerks, they picked a Sand King. Yeah. And you can see I'm kind of low on health here. Oh, but we didn't force him out. He stayed. That's kind of crazy. Alright, now he's gonna leave. Let me turn both teams' vision back on so we can see what this guy's up to. And so he's gonna go back to heal. He left his Pugna in lane. I guess now's a good time to talk about the abilities on some of these heroes. So we kind of know what Ogre Magi does. He's a tanky guy and he casts spells a lot. He's got a damage over time spell and a single target nuke. His ultimate lets him cast his spells multiple times, either on the person that he's targeting or on multiple targets. So he's kind of interesting in that his ultimate ability is passive. We've got Zeus over here, who actually, interesting thing, he won the Arcana Showdown for the TI Compendium. Basically, TI is the big Dota tournament that happens every year, and one of the things that happens surrounding that is people who buy the sort of online program for it get to vote on who gets the next sort of super high-end item set called an Arcana, which basically is just... Oh, do we get him? Do we get him? No, we don't get him. So it really, this is kind of a thing that's happening right... Well, and let me finish talking about Arcana. Basically, it's just a complete rework of the entire model with particle effects and all kinds of, you know, fancy redesigned, you know, clothes and spell effects. A lot of times they'll redo these spell icons and stuff. And he won. He was voted we all voted on it, and I did not vote for Zeus. I was voting for another hero, but whatever. So he's gonna get a big special item, and he's really spamming out his spells, and it's starting to, at this point it was kind of getting annoying for me, being in lane with him, just because he's constantly burning mana to go on people, and we're not actually, you know, accomplishing very much. Like, we're forcing them out of lane, but not killing them, and that's like, if he waits, he would have waited like 2 minutes, I would have level 2 on both of my spells, and I'd be doing so much more damage to this guy. Because that's one of the things about just spells in general in Dota. It's pretty fair that, you know, level 1 spells are not necessarily the greatest. Yeah, but Zeus, his abilities are interesting. He's got Chain Lightning, or Arc Lightning, which, you know, bounces from target to target, and is kind of, so it's not exactly an area of effect nuke, because an area of effect nuke will do damage to everyone in an area, whereas like a chain spell like this might hit one target twice and skip one. So it's a little bit less reliable in that way, but it does do a fair amount of damage. So it's a very useful spell in that regard. And then he's got Lightning Bolt, which is a single target nuke. Oh god, they got Zeus. No, they get me too. So yeah, that's Rocket Barrage. That's Gyrocopter's sort of bread and butter spell. It does a ton of damage. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to explain. Like, he fires a barrage of rockets. Each one of them does 10 damage. It'll hit any enemy standing in, you know, in the 400 radius, so about this big around. So the thing is, though, the more enemies are in that area, the more this damage gets spread out, and sort of like the less it does to each individual hero. So what ended up happening there was, if we had stood next to each other, we would have taken, or if we had been next to a creep wave, we would have taken a lot less damage, basically. But because we were standing over here where there were no creeps for this to be fired on, we just ate all of the damage from it, and it just sort of wrecked us. And it's really kind of an irritating way to go out, but
thanks, man.
It happens.
To you, my loyalty.
So yeah, we were talking about Zeus's spells. He's got, yeah, Lightning Bolt, single target nuke, does... Oh wait, no. Yeah, it's a single target nuke, but it'll do, it gives you vision in a pretty big radius around where the Lightning Bolt hits. So you can use it to spot out wards and stuff. It's kind of useful for that kind of thing. Then we've got Static Field, which is... Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily... Oh god, I'm missing so many kills. Here, let's... Let me back that up a minute. Yeah, so... Oh, I see what happened here. Alright, let me back it up one more time and we'll go from this out. So... Huh. I don't know where... I don't know when Sand King took all that damage, but he did. And that's one of the interesting things about TA is... which ability is it? Meld? No. Oh, she had the rune. That's right. So she picked up an invisibility rune from here, so she was completely invisible. She ran down here after they had been skirmishing and Sand King had taken a bunch of damage. So she just hit him once and killed him, and then found, who was it? Witch Doctor standing right there. And that was just bad luck for them, really. Alright, so we see Pudge going on Necrophos here, but he's not gonna... You kinda can't do that with Pudge. You need to either land a hook or save your dismember. Like, and you can see we're pinging on him. Oh no, I think he gets away here. Yeah, Pudge is kind of an interesting hero. He's got his hook, which is his bread and butter spell. It's sort of one of those classic mobile abilities. You sort of throw it out. It's a skill shot, so it's easy to miss. You kind of throw it out at a point on the ground, and it won't. You can't cast it on an enemy. It won't track an enemy. You're casting it on a point on the ground. So if you miss, well, basically it's really easy to miss. Is why it's called skill shot. So The way it works is you throw out a hook, it grabs somebody, pulls it close to you. You use your second spell here, Rot. It does damage over time to anybody who's standing next to you, but also does damage over time to yourself also. So the thing is, you need to combo it with your ultimate ability here, Dismember, which is a disable. It keeps people from moving and attacking and casting abilities. So, oh, you see, and he goes on me, that's Dismember, that's why I'm not moving. He turns on Rot, that's why I'm taking a little damage over time. But I have help coming in. So we trade there. Oh yeah, but we lost Earthshaker somewhere. I'm not sure where that happened. He's been down for a while. It must have happened bottom lane. Yeah, these guys look like they've been fighting. Guess we'll talk about Sand King since we're down here. He's got Burrow Strike, which basically he runs forward underground and pushes a bunch of spikes up that will stun and do some damage. So it's basically, you know, it's a line area of effect stun that gets him a little bit of movement, so he can use it to like escape up cliffs and, you know, run away, and it's really good, really powerful ability for ambushing people. So it's a really useful skill there. He's got Sandstorm, which basically, oh, so we see Fissure coming in and nothing happening on it. Yeah, I seem to remember this Pudge missing a lot of hooks this game. Yeah, that was a really close one. Oh yeah, I think I put this ward down, which is why we know he's here. See, that's one of the things about heroes like Pudge who rely on ambush type spells, or, you know, really positioning, or sort of positioning heavy, like they like to hide in shadows and jump out at people, is they're countered by this pretty cheap item. It's like 75 gold for one of these, and if you put it like I've put it here, or like we've put it here, I don't remember if I actually placed this one or not. But like, you saw him, he stood here, and my team just sort of retreated to under tower, and he couldn't do anything. And the whole time that he's standing here, he's not getting any gold, he's not getting any experience, and it's just a waste. And see, we've got this ward here. Oh wait, oh never mind, that was their ward. Yeah, so we kind of didn't see him. I'm not sure why we were pinging at him, or how they sort of guessed that he was there. I guess it was just a lucky guess. But up here, see, I've put this one down. I remember putting this one down. So if Pudge comes in to try and hook us, you know, while we're farming over here, or up here by where our tower used to be, we'll see him. And that's a really useful thing, to be able to see a hero who doesn't want you to know where he's at. Alright, so we had a call down mid. Oh god, another death. Oh, fight's happening bottom like crazy. Oof. So that's a 3-for-1 trade. Here, let's back that up a little and see that whole fight. Alright. So Zeus, Earthshaker, and Necrophos are all up here farming. How did this work? Okay, so hook. Alright, so yeah, Earthshaker gets hooked, and he gets stunned up, and then he just kind of gets wrecked and taken down. TA rotates in and takes out the Pudge, but then Sand King gets his full ultimate epicenter off, and the way this works is he sort of pounds his tail on the ground, and everything in this AoE around him will take massive damage as long as he's doing that. Alright, looks like TA's gonna be safe here. Might even get a kill. No, just gets a trap off. Anyway, the way TA works... so her first ability, Refraction, it gives her a sort of shield against spell damage, or is it all damage? It's all damage. Alright, so she's picked up another invisibility rune. She's just sort of stalking Gyrocopter here. In comes the oh, that missed. Wow. Oh god, another miss. Huh. Anyway, refraction, it gives her 6 chances to block 80 damage for 17 seconds. So, whoa. Oh no. Alright, so yeah, that's a little bit over-aggressive from the Oathshaker there. He did land a good 2-person fissure, but then as soon as that TP came in, he should have run. But, you know, that kind of happens sometimes. Where is... Alright, there she is. And she's over here hiding. Not sure what she's thinking. Anyway, so yeah. Excuse me. Oh. No, I don't think she's gonna get it here. Maybe. Oh yeah, alright. Shows you what I know. Anyway, her second ability, Meld, it makes her invisible as long as she's not moving. Or no. Yeah, as long as she's not moving, she's invisible. And when she hits somebody after having cast this, like if she hits something out of it, like she casts Meld and then immediately right-clicks something, she gets a damage and armor reduction. She picks up the damage rune. Her third skill, Psyblades, is a oh, here we go. Yep, just Echo Slam into right clicks there. That's not really... Yeah, that was just them being kind of out of position and not realizing how many of us were there. Again, you see, they don't have any vision anymore. Their ward expired down here on the bottom lane, and they haven't... they've got one ward over here by the rune spot, and that's it. As you see, I have put a ward down here in the mid lane so we can kind of see what's happening in this whole area. And that has led to a couple of kills, which is nice. Anyway, TA's third ability, Psyblades, it basically gives her the ability to attack from a distance, and it increases her damage when they're turned on. Also, they can split so that she has a chance of hitting multiple heroes. Fountain, and then her ultimate ability is these traps that she lays down, like this one. So she can put these, wherever she wants, and she can trigger them at any time she wants, and they do a little bit of damage and they slow people. So it's really sort of useful for like map control, and also for chasing. You can cast a trap right in front of where somebody's going to walk, and then immediately trigger it when they walk over it, and they can do, and it slows them down, and you can chase them a lot better that way. You're kind of starting to see the Pugna come into play a little bit because he's maxed out his first skill, Nether Blast, here, which is, it's a basic area of effect ability, but it also is interesting that it actually affects buildings, which is really rare for Dota. So he's a really powerful pushing here. Okay, yeah. Right after I talk about them not having enough wards down, they're starting to get them out again. So they were just a little late. Pretty even game so far. It's 15 minutes in, and we're 10 kills to 10 kills. They have taken a tower up top, and a mid tower. But that's sort of to be expected with their lineup, because they've got a lot of heroes who are good for pushing. Okay, so we caught out the Pugna over there with the fissure, but then in comes Gyrocopter, and the ward from Witch Doctor. A perfect placement, is just wrecking us all. Yes, that was a 4-for-2 trade there. Correction, 5-for-2 trade right there. Yeah, so you can see we were way ahead, and then they kill all 5 of us, and they're back. Or no, they were way ahead. We were getting close to being even again, and then they kind of wrecked shop their top lane. So kind of what happened there was we were able to pick off 2 over here in the jungle, but then again we weren't standing near the creep wave at all. So when Gyrocopter came in and used rocket barrage on us, he sort of did a ton of damage to us all at once. And there was really good positioning from their Witch Doctor, who has his ultimate ability, Death Ward, is a channeled spell. So the way that works is, as long as he's not moving or attacking, it's firing out these bolts of physical energy, and it does. Yeah, it's 90 damage.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
90 damage per, little bolt, and then it lasts. I don't know, it totals up to 100. Wait, no.
Oh, look at it go!
There, you see, it lasts as long as he can cast it, and you see, you can interrupt it with a stun like I just did, but it does so much damage because he can cast it, for that entire channel, which is really long time. Yeah. I kind of thought that Earthshaker was going to come up a little sooner to help me secure that kill, and it didn't happen. But then Pudge chased a little too far, and we did manage to turn around. So it's a trade of me, who's a lowly support hero, for their mid carry Pudge, who is not doing too great as far as items go. Although he does have 1,600 gold in the bank, so he can buy something decent with that. Let's see how I'm doing. So it's 20 minutes in. You can see I have much better items already this game. I've got a magic wand and arcane boots, so I can have a little burst heal and burst mana regen on myself, and even more mana regen with the boots. So last game I kind of talked about how he's kind of a weird spellcaster hero, and that his mana pool isn't that great. So by buying these 2 items here, I've kind of allowed myself to keep casting spells over and over, because the cooldowns on these spells are actually really low. 10 seconds on the Fire Blast and 15 seconds on the Ignite. So it's a lot of... you can really spam those spells a lot as long as you have the mana for it. And by getting these 2 items, that's going to ensure that I pretty much always have enough mana for 1 more spell. I can still sort of run out in a really long team fight, but those are kind of unlikely to happen. Alright, so I use the smoke there. And this is actually going to be an example of what not to do when you smoke up. So smoke is this ability called Smoke of Deceit, which basically lets you turn yourself and any friendly characters in a big area of effect around you invisible, and it gives you a movement speed buff. So you can use this for a couple different things. You can use it to... Okay, see I'm revealed there. So as soon as you get into like that much of a range of an enemy hero or tower... Oh, I get hooked. Yeah, so maybe not the best example of how to smoke. Like if the rest of my team had come with me down here, we could have gone on the... Oh wow. Oh yeah, nothing really happened there. Anyway, if the rest of the team had come with me there, we could have all rotated in onto the Sand King over here. But instead, what happened was we sort of traded. Again, me for the Pudge, which is a favorable trade for my team. But we could have gotten 2. Also, we would have all been back here, so that the Gyrocopter wouldn't have had been able to rotate in and do all the damage that he did to Earthshaker and Necrophos that happened up here. But what are you gonna do? You can't always necessarily get off the smoke that you want to get off. Sometimes you just end up getting what you get, and it's disappointing.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, okay, so they take another tower. At this point, we are pretty far behind in gold. But it's still relatively close in experience. Oh gosh. Alright, let's actually watch that. Alright, and one more. Alright, so they're pushing over here. Earthshaker comes up to kill the ward. Oh, wow. Alright, so what happened there was Earthshaker came up here to kill Nether Ward, which is one of Pugna's spells. And then Gyrocopter, who was invisible because of an ability, an item called Shadow Blade, came up here, casted his ultimate, and then hit... I think he hit Earthshaker. But then Earthshaker used his ultimate ability, which sort of just blew up the Gyrocopter. Alright, so that's kind of just a misplay from the enemy team. There was only 2 of us. Wait, no, there were 3 of us here. So what ended up happening was we split the damage from the Witch Doctor ultimate, so it didn't actually do as much damage as it would normally do, and that allowed us to turn that around and just sort of kill the Pudge and then kill the Witch Doctor. So yeah, again. Oh well, yeah. Huh. Yeah, that Shadow Blade's doing work. So this is an item that that Gyrocopter bought. It's a Shadow Blade. It basically lets him go invisible and gives him a crit when he comes out of invisibility, kind of like Bounty Hunter last game. But the thing that's different about this is the cooldown is, I think, a little longer, and the crit is not as good as Janata. It's only 175. It's just a flat 175 damage. It's not a percentage of his attack. Oh wow, that's gutsy. Trying to solo kill a TA. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Because TA, you know, refraction blocks pretty much all of Pudge's damage, and the whole time that Rod is turned on, he's taking damage from himself. Plus, he gets all these crits. Plus, he's got a Black King bar, which makes him immune to magical attacks. So, yeah, that TA is pretty tanky, and it was a big mistake for Pudge to try and solo. Oh wow. Call down. Ooh. Yep. Call down into Rocket Barrage. That'll get you every time. We did get the Pugna there, so it's not the worst. It's a 2-for-2 trade, but you know, again, could have gone better. Like if we'd been a little bit more aware of the you know, the call down, because there is a pretty big gap in between the blast on the call down spell, which, by the way, is Gyrocopter's ultimate. So you've seen it a few times. It's that big AoE that makes that big old crater on the map, and it does a fair amount of damage, but it also does a really big slow. All right, another kill happening up top. Again, Pudge getting caught out. Yeah, all right. So that was mostly just Earthshaker ultimate into Fissure into Enchant Totem. So the way that works is his ultimate ability, Echo Slam. Oh god, here comes Shadow Blade again, doing work. Alright, so that was kind of a mistake. I think he's going to get away here because the Gyrocopter was a little bit impatient. Like, he was closing on him, and he probably would have been in range to do an auto attack, which would have done, let's see, 50, 70, like almost 300 damage to him. That probably would have killed him outright, but instead he went for the missile. Oh god, more fights happening. Yeah, there was a lot of fights this game, and a lot of pickoffs. Oh, see, they're going on TA again. But again, Refraction taking almost no damage at all. Blink away into BKB. Alright, so they burned 2 ultimates there and did no damage at all to her. That's the power of Refraction and BKB. So yeah, Refraction just blocks, you know, just damage of all types, and Blacking Bar makes you immune to magical damage. So the spells don't do any damage, and the auto attacks don't do any damage. She takes no damage. That's part of the problem with fighting a TA, is you kind of need your whole team to focus on her just to take her down. Meanwhile, she's doing all of this crit damage to you. So if you're anything, you know, less than 3v1ing her, you're probably not going to take her down at this point. Once she has this item here, the Blacking Bar, that's the main one, but also the Blink, because it lets her get away, because she can Blacking Bar and Refraction, and she's taking no damage at all. So it's impossible to break this the Blink Dagger. That's one of the ways that it's balanced, is that because it's super easy to buy it, you know, and it gives you that big teleport. So it's kind of an OP movement item, but the thing of it is, you see how it's on cooldown now? Basically, anytime you're attacked, it goes on cooldown for 3 seconds. So you can't use it super defensively all the time, because it won't let you escape after you've already been attacked. Alright, another call down, hits 2, but the angle wasn't right. He was coming in from behind where we were going, from behind the direction we were going, and he didn't actually manage to capitalize on it at all. And he's still over here. That thing is doing work. That Shadow Blade is really saving him. Like, oh, I had dust too. Oh, if I just would have dusted. If I just would have used dust right here, we would have killed him. Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh, that's so embarrassing. So yeah, anyway, like I was saying, if I'd use dust, which is this item here, it basically it'll reveal anything that's invisible in an area of effect around you, so that, and it also slows enemy units. So if it's a ward, obviously it can't move. Oh god. Call down on 2. Oh man. Oh wow. They just... But yeah, that was also 2 ultimate abilities right there that are now on cooldown. So like, cooldown's actually a pretty short cooldown because it doesn't actually do that much damage. So it's like on 40-second cooldown, but he's got his Aghanim Scepter now, so his cooldown's a lot shorter. It's like 80 seconds on the Death Ward, but it's more when he doesn't have this item. The Aghanim Scepter, which is basically it upgrades your spells and gives you some stats, but not really great stats. Not like a Butterfly or a Heaven's Halberd or some other item that gives a lot of really powerful stat abilities. Let's see what else is happening here. Alright, so yeah, they go on Necrophos and they get him. Oh, but the Echo Slam. Yeah. So that's a 3 for 3. I'm not really sure. 3 for 4. I think, if I remember correctly, she does end up getting him because she's got Blink. Yeah, she blinks in. 1 crit, 2 crits, 3 crits, and he's dead. So yeah, that's the power of, you know, of Meld Strike and what is it called? Psy Blades. Plus she's got a Desolator, which again reduces armor. Yeah. So end up getting 5 there. You can see now where the Dire team, my team, is way ahead on XP again. We're also finally just a little bit ahead on gold. So I picked up a 4-staff. Gyrocopter here got his Daedalus, which is the most powerful crit item in the game. It gives you 240% critical damage and a 25% chance to crit. So you see he crits for 480 there. That's a lot of damage all at once. That's it's like a quarter. No, who's really not tanky? Actually, we're all pretty tanky. Well, Necrophos is only 1100, so that's almost half of his health. Everybody else is fairly tanky. Let's take a look at my items. I bought a 4-staff. Oh.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
See, that was Thunder God's Wrath. That's oh god. Oh, another call down. Oh, into Echo Slam, but it doesn't get us anything. Oh, we get 1, 2. Oh yeah. I think he's gonna go down here. Yeah, I'm not super sure what happened there. Let's back that up a little bit. Okay, so there. So TA goes in. TA jumps in. We get a stun. Alright, so TA basically solo killed the Witch Doctor there. We didn't get anything off our stun. Pudge. Okay, so yeah, call down catches 2 of us. Right. Alright. So what... It's kind of hard to describe really how we ended up dying there. Basically, it all comes down to Gyrocopter has a ton of right-click. And he's got his Rocket Barrage maxed out, so it does a ton of damage to anybody... Oh, but we do get him. So there's that. Oh, she totally cleaned up the whole enemy team after that. That's... Alright. Let's go back here. Okay, yeah, that's the end of the fight. Everybody on my team dies, but they have taken a lot of damage, so they're chasing after Zeus. Okay, so she blinks in, double shots both of those guys, and then turns around and cleans up. Yeah, so... Yeah, there's not much you can do against a TA like this, and now she's got 4,500 gold, so she can buy pretty much... Well, I don't want to say any item in the game, because there's a couple of... There's like 2 or 3 items that are more than 5,000 gold, but she can be well on her way to some of the strongest items in the game. So it's actually really, really heads-up play from her. Okay, so she's got an Eagle Song. She's probably going to go for a Butterfly next, which is a... It's a stat item that gives you like 35 agility plus a chance to evade an attack, so that you... Oh, she's going to completely heal up from her bottle also. Oh, but they see this because they have this ward here. But they are all pretty much... Yeah, they're dead. Or they were all too far away anyway to do anything about it. Well, the Necrophos is actually getting really farmed. I'm actually not that far ahead, but... Alright, so at this point we back off and we go to take Roshan. Roshan, if you guys don't know, is the biggest neutral creep on the map. He sits over here in his little cave, and he does tons of damage. He can stun. He's got a spell shield. Oh! They hook Necrophos, but they don't follow up on it really. Call down comes in, hits on 2. Oh my gosh. And so the fight gets split up into 2. Basically, we take out Pudge over here, and they don't manage to kill the PA. So basically, I'm the only one who gets taken out. Oh, this could be dangerous. Oh well. Yep. So they pop the Aegis of the Immortal. That's the item that Roshan drops. That's the reason why you kill him. You pick up this item, and it basically gives you an extra life, so you immediately respawn in a couple of seconds after you're killed with full health and mana. So you saw there she was really low on both health and mana, so they actually kind of did her a favor by popping that Aegis, because now she can push without much trouble at all. And she's got 4,000 gold. So if we take a look at the graphs again, you can see now we're way, way, way ahead on the Dire side. And it was, this time it was really, they just sort of underestimated the Templar Assassin, and they got too aggressive, and they didn't back off when they should have. Like, after that team fight in the mid lane, they should have just taken their 4 and gone back to base and healed up and then tried to push out the lanes. But instead they got greedy and they chased after Zeus, and it ended up coming back to bite them. Alright, so I show up here at this push bottom, and right when it breaks up. Anyway, let's see. So you see, I'm not necessarily the fastest farming support. I'm doing okay though. I've got a Force Staff. This is an item. It's kind of like a Blink Dagger, except instead of a teleport, it just sort of force pushes you or your target in the direction that you're facing. So at some point you'll probably see me use it. I'll just sort of be shoved forward. It'll on this character kind of, yeah, like that. There it goes. That's what Force Staff looks like. The reason you pick this up, you tend to pick this up more on supports than on carries, is that we talked about how Blink Dagger gets broken if you take damage. Well, Force Staff kind of doesn't. You won't be able to use it if you're stunned, because you can't use any items when you're stunned. But if you're just being right-clicked and you're taking damage, you can Force Staff to get yourself out of the way. I'm going to use it a couple of times, I think, to get out of the cooldown, the call down effect, that big crater attack that you've seen happen a few times. Oh, he did not want to hook her. You don't want to hook the TA. Alright, so that's a whiff on that cooldown. Didn't really happen anything, and we just sort of reset. I put a ward down. Ta-da! Big ward vision. You see, it gets a little bit of vision into the base. Who is that? Papa Smurf. That's... I keep missing, but I'm talking about important stuff. This warding stuff in Dota is really important. I think it's... I'm not sure how much... Well, I know vision is not as important in something like Heroes of the Storm. I have not played enough League to really know the ins and outs of supporting in that game. Support in Heroes of the Storm, though, tends to be more of healers. Takes the form of healers, and maybe you'll have a stun that you can use to set up kills, but it's a lot less map control, just because the maps in those games are kind of small, and also the game sort of sets the pace for you, like, because there's so many events happening on the maps at different timings. It's really the game that sets the pace more than the player, so you kind of can't just sort of back off and get, oh god, TA goes in, double shots the oh wow, oh god, we take another one. Alright, yeah, so at this point, alright, so you're just dodging all of their spells now, because we've got enough mobility items. Like, there's the Blink Dagger on TA, plus she has a spell shield, so she can just blink away from danger. I've got the Force Staff, so I can just blink out of the way. There's a blink on Earthshaker as well, so he can just run away whenever they call down. What's Necrophos got? Yeah, Necrophos doesn't have a mobility item, but he has a mechanism, which we talked a little bit about last game. Yeah, see at this point we're just not taking any damage from the call down anymore. You know, he can focus down, and he can't quite even focus down the Necrophos with his Rocket Barrage anymore. So yeah, we just we've got enough mobility items that we can dodge the big AoEs, and we're all tanky enough that the less important, sort of less powerful spells don't kill us anymore, so we're kind of just getting ahead. See, there goes down another ultimate on TA, but she just sort of tanks it up and runs away. It's kind of... we're kind of getting to the point where we're far enough ahead that unless they focus down a single hero, they're not going to get more than one kill in a fight. Meanwhile, we don't really have to focus anybody down, and we'll still take 3, like we just did. Let's see, what does Zeus have? He's got... alright, he's got his Aghanim Scepter, so his ultimate ability's been upgraded. He's got his Mana Boot, so that he can give himself a little bit of burst mana. He's got a Blink Dagger, so that he can, you know, dodge those big AoEs like we were talking about. Oh, he just sold that Voidstone. That's kind of a weird thing. Alright, so TA has bought Boots of Travel, which is an interesting late game sort of pickup for carry. What they do is they let you teleport, but unlike a teleport scroll, which is the sort of standard way that heroes teleport in Dota, it lets you teleport to your own creeps as opposed to just to your own buildings. Because when you have a teleport scroll, let's see, I think I have one. Well, I should have one. I don't have one, but I should. Let's see, does anybody have one? Oh, we are bad Dota players. We should... okay, there we go. At least one. At least Earthshaker here has one. So this is a teleportation scroll. It costs 100 gold. It'll let you teleport to any friendly structure. So the thing is, though, this late in the game, you can see all of the structures on my team, or on my side of the map, are all inside my base. So really, teleport scroll will only let me get back to base safely. It won't necessarily let me get back into action quickly. So you see this late game pickup here from TA, and it's totally the right choice. Is the Boots of Travel, so that now she can sort of split push on her own, because she is the tankiest one on our team. Like, she's the strongest one, so she can sort of push by herself, while the other 4 on her team are sort of pushing together. So that now the enemy team has a little bit of a dilemma. They can't necessarily just tank up in one spot. So you see TA blinks in and gets focused down, but then in comes the Earthshaker with the Echo Slam, and I do a little bit of damage as well, and they all go down. So we forced out 3 buybacks there from the enemy team. TA also buys back. They have the Death Ward up. But again, that's the thing, is we can sort of dodge most of their damage. The Death Ward is a stationary thing. As long as you're not standing close to it, you're not taking damage from it. If Call Down gets dodged, it just whiffs and doesn't do any damage at all. Pudge's Hook is easy to dodge as well. Look, I get stunned in here, I take 1, and then I force knife myself away, and that causes the Pudge to miss his hook, so it can just keep on running. And let's see, what happened to TA? She bought back, and oh, she's waiting out by the Roche. Oh, she grabbed a rune, and it looks like she's going to push out the bottom lane. So that was a 1-for-5 trade, and 3 of them bought back. So we can talk about buyback a little bit. So you see, yeah, Zeus. Alright, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be just focusing on this. Alright, so we're taking Roche here, or TA is. See all this says, these no's, that means that a person cannot buy back into the game. Buyback is kind of an interesting mechanic in Dota, in that you can spend your gold to get your hero back in the game, but then you're kind of punished for it a little bit. Because you see how... See how big there's a 5-minute timer there on TA's buyback? She has enough gold to buy back into the game whenever she wants, but because she just used it, now this timer is at 5 minutes. Or it started at 6 minutes, so it's been a couple, but that's just so that heroes just can't just be dying and constantly buying back into the game, because that would be way overpowered. But you can see here that Witch Doctor here has 4.5 minutes, plus he needs 800 more gold before he can do it. So it's really, you have to be careful about how you use it, because you want to save it for when you really need it. Yeah, let's just leave that closed for now. There's Zeus. He's running a little bit behind on items. He's got a lot of money to spend. Looks like I'm going for my Aghanim Scepter. I picked up a point booster, which basically gives you health and mana. It makes you a little tankier. Gives you a bigger mana pool. And I've also got a Staff of Wizardry, which gives me 10 intelligence in the stash. All right, so yeah, a little homing missile coming out from. All right, I get hooked. Oh, I do hit him with the multicast, but it doesn't do that much damage. In comes the call down, but Pugna's already dead. Oh wow. Yep, down goes Gyrocopter, and then we turn on the Pudge. Oh, but in comes oof. In comes Sand King with the epicenter, takes down 3, but only manages to kill the Aegis on TA. So now we're still pushing in, and he just has this little sliver of health left. So yeah, not looking good for Radiant team, but yeah, what are you gonna do? So this was a little bit more of a back and forth game. We saw the supports actually get to play a little bit. So I'm still down for 40 seconds. Take the mid barracks. TA rotates up top. Sand King goes in, but can't really, still can't do anything off of this. Looks like we're gonna take the top barracks because there's no buyback left on the enemy team. Yep, there goes the top barracks. Oh gosh. Alright, Sand King goes into Sandstorm. Alright, so yeah, that was just a Shiva's Guard going off. That's this item here, that big blue frosty ring. That's this item called Shiva's Guard. That's when you turn it on. And anything in that area of effect will be slowed. Another useful item on a support. No, everybody but me is really. Oh. Yeah. Necrophos can't be doing that. Yeah, so a little bit of an over-aggressive play from Necrophos. He gets taken out in front of the enemy fountain. Like at this point, we're kind of getting into that late game sloppy play. Oh, more wards down. This is a pretty good ward spot. I think I actually have one down. Oh, not yet. Later in the game, I'll have one down inside the enemy base. Yeah, so I came down here to push. I ended up tanking quite a bit of damage from the creep wave, but then, yeah, in comes Earthshaker to help out. I've got my Aghanim Scepter, so now I have this ability where I have Unrefined Fire Blast, which does 275 damage. And the same stun. It's basically the same thing as Fire Blast, except it does more damage, and it's a guaranteed multicast. I don't remember what the number is on it, but it's instead of being a random chance, it's a guarantee. Alright, so we see Heart of Trask coming out on the Necrophos, so now he is super tanky, 2600 health. This is one of the most expensive strength items in the game. It gives you a ton of hit points and a lot of strength. Kinda wasted on Necrophos because he's an intelligence hero. Like, he's not getting any damage out of this, he's just a lot more tanky. Battle of the Invis Heroes going on up here. Oh, blinking onto Pudge. Oh man, Yep.
Tin chopper, tin chopper.
Yep, see, that's the thing. If we get caught in one spot, we do take a lot of damage. Like you saw there, between the call down and... Oh, I get hooked here, and I'm... Yeah, just dead. You know, between, you know, call down and rot and the death ward and, you know, all of the enemy's abilities, like, if we get caught in one spot, we will get killed. Yeah, but the thing is, when a lot of them get low, we just hit Thunder God's Wrath, and they all just get taken out. And if... Oh, another buyback from TA. Yep. So yeah, that's those boosted travel paying off. You saw she teleported down here to this creep wave of ours, and then she was in perfect position to take out the gyrocopter, who now has to buy back, wasting even more of his gold. See, and yeah, we're all really tanky. He's got, Zeus here has an Octarine Core, which is a really interesting item. It gives you spell lifesteal, so anytime you attack an enemy with a spell, you get a little bit of your life back. And it lowers the cooldowns on all of your abilities, so he's actually, you know, he's... Oh, Epicenter coming out from the Sand King, not doing any damage at all because of the BKB on TA.
Just back from my
Yep.
rounds.
Yeah, see, that's the problem that the enemy team is starting to run into, like I said, is if they catch us all in one spot, and TA's BKB is down, they can kill her and they can kill a bunch of us. But if we fight in open areas where we can, you know, dodge their AoEs, we almost always will take a team fight. And also, we are really far ahead at this point. Like, really far ahead. Let's take a look. Oh, actually, they did turn some stuff around, getting all those kills in that last fight. As far as experience goes, well, you see here they've turned it around a little bit, but as far as gold, they've just managed to level off. Also, all of their barracks are down, so we have what's called mega creeps, which is, you see, they actually changed the model on the creeps, so they're a lot bigger and scarier looking if you're dire. And once those creeps work their way into the base, they do so much damage.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, see how fast that tower went down? Alright, so I apparently got hooked down here. Force-staff myself away. I don't know, I'm not sure why I'm... Yeah, I should probably turn around and go back in at this point.
Is under attack.
Yeah, but that's game. Okay. So that's game number 2 for tonight. I've got one more. Excuse me. But I'm going to take a quick break in between games. Once again, just another reminder, this is an Extra Life stream, so if you guys don't know about Extra Life, we're a fundraising organization for children's hospitals all across the US and Canada. There are links for more information on whichever channel you're watching this on. If you're watching this on my personal channel, Sven_Cruisel, there's links down there, and also on the Extra Life LA channel, of course, there are links to all of our pages so that you can get some more information. And this is an A to Z challenge. I'm trying to win a match of Dota with all the heroes from A to Z, all 110 of them. And every time I lose a match, I raise my fundraising goal for the big marathon that we do, which is our main fundraising event every year. I raise that goal by $1. So I think I've had to raise it like by $30. I should really get around to actually following through and actually doing all the stuff on my site to actually officially raise that at some point, but I'm a little bit behind. Anyway, I've got one more game tonight. I'm just going to take a quick break to stretch my legs because I've been sitting here for a couple hours, and that's not very good for me. And we're back. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my my Dota A to Z challenge for Extra Life. My name is Steve. And we're gonna jump into the last match of the night. If I can... Wait, not this one. It is... this one. Oh, by the way, I'm actually, for the first time, I'm doing this from the Dota Reborn beta thing, which is actually kind of interesting. It's this, which is they've redone the entire client for Dota 2. They're also redoing a lot of the graphics in the Source 2 engine, so it's actually a slight graphical upgrade, although it is still in beta, so some of the textures aren't completely changed over. So like if you click on like a player profile, you get all of this information now, as opposed to before it was just like favorite heroes and favorite items and stuff. Now there's actually a lot more info about like how you play. Like for example, you see I support a lot. I'm a .86 support player. I don't know what that means. You can see my average gold per minute is 310. My average experience per minute is 360. It's actually not very good. It's actually kind of low. My average last hits per game is 54, which is really low. Actually, I need to work on my farming a lot. As you can see, I'm only a .37 at that, whereas you know everything else I'm a like a 5 or an 8 over here in support, but I'm really not very good at farming right now. Although I seem to remember when I was playing Nature's Prophet and Necrophos and Night Stalker, who are all carries, this was a little bit farther out. So this actually it tracks pretty fairly, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of cool. Or at least I thought it was kind of cool. Anyway, so the A to Z challenge is I'm trying to win a match in with each hero in Dota from A to Z, and I won one with Ogre Magi today, so I moved on to Omni Knight, which is the game we're about to watch. He's another support hero. Been playing a lot of support lately. I like playing support, although I'm not very good with supports like Omni Knight. He doesn't fit my playstyle of a support. Like, I prefer to be I guess what we call a position 4 in Dota, which basically means that you're responsible for buying some support items, but you're also you're roaming support, so you don't necessarily buy all the wards and put all the wards out, and you're not really a babysitter in lane. You're actually running around trying to set up plays on enemy heroes and get kills. Whereas like a carry is supposed to stay in lane and farm for most of the early game. The position 4 support will farm in lane a little bit, but he'll also run around and try to set up kills for the carry, so that you benefit by getting golden experience from those kills, but you don't get the last hit necessarily. Whereas a hero like Omni Knight, he's more of a position 5 support, which is what we call a hard support, because he basically sits in lane and makes sure that the carry that's in the lane stays alive, and buys lots of support items and doesn't really buy much for himself. So you see he's got a heal. He's one of the few heroes in Dota that actually has a heal, but it heals you and does damage to anybody in an area of effect around you. So like that's the cast range. But the actual area of effect of it is more like, if I were to cast it on myself, it's actually really small. It's like that big, which works out okay because he's a melee hero, which I also am not very good with melee heroes, to be honest. I just never know how to really position myself with them, and I always end up being out of position in fights and just getting kind of wrecked. Alright, so the Sven is over here. He's going to go for the same rune that I'm kind of guarding. I'm pinging it out to see if anybody's going to come in and help with it. Like, no.
battle begins.
Yeah. So there you see, that was the heal and the attack. So it does a fair amount of damage at level 1. Not a lot, really. Oh gosh. All right. Here, let's back this one up so that we can see what happened here. One more. Yeah. So that's Magnus's third skill here, Skewer. Basically, can push anybody. He can push anybody like in the direction that he's walking, and he happened to get trapped up here on the cliff with 2 enemy heroes right next to him, so it was a 3v1 that he could not escape from. Although he is trapped up here, so it'll be a little while before he gets the 100 gold he needs for a teleportation scroll, and he has to get the courier to fly it out to him. So it's kind of a pain in the butt for that Earthshaker. Anyway, up here top lane it was me and Spirit Breaker. Not really doing a very good job of contesting the enemy team's farm here. Yeah, this ended up being kind of a weird laning matchup. The Keeper of the Light and Sven lane is actually a really strong one, because Keeper of the Light can sort of push the entire wave out and do damage to a bunch of creeps, and Sven's second skill here, Great Cleave, you can see it whenever he hits anything. It's just that big ring that sort of spreads out in, like a ripple in a pool of water from around him, and that's just basically a visual representation of the fact that he's hitting everything. You can see he hits that one, and all these creeps take damage. So basically, he's a really strong farming hero at this point. Well, actually, he becomes a really strong farming hero over the course of the game, but he's building in that direction. All right. Anyway, I get mana drained, which is a pain in the butt. That's this skill here, Mana Leak, from Keeper of the Light. Sorry, I got distracted for a second there. And without any mana, a hero like Omnimite is kind of useless, because I can't heal, and most of my damage comes from that first spell. So if I don't have mana for it, I can't really do very much, because I only do, well, now 61 damage. Let's take a look at last hits and denies. We know that's kills, that's assist, that's not last hits. So we're actually ahead on the last hits chart here. We've got a 9, 8, and a 6 from the Ember Spirit, the Spirit Breaker, and the Phantom Lancer. Sven does have 7. They're not actually that far behind. It's kind of early still. Although we're last hitting pretty evenly still at this point.
Middle lane is missing.
It's just kind of, the thing is, they keep pushing the lane back to our tower, which is usually advantageous. You usually want to be fighting under your own tower, but it's kind of less than ideal. Just because you see here, the Sven's got 2 points into Great Cleave. Okay, this is when Spirit Breaker charged off, then canceled his charge, ran back into lane. I'm not sure if he meant to do that pull or what, But I mean, I just took this experience because it's basically free experience. Because you can do that deliberately. Like if you hit the creep camp and run into lane at 43 seconds and 13 seconds, I think it is, or it's yeah, it's either 43 or 44 or 45 seconds, and either like 13, 14, or 15 seconds. You can run into lane, and then the creeps from your lane will come into here. And they'll be fighting these neutral creeps. Alright, now he charges off. Let's just watch the Spirit Breaker charge. So, it's going on Terrorblade mid here. They get him. Yeah, so that was Sunder, which is Terrorblade's ultimate ability, which basically it swaps the hit points of him for an enemy hero, and that's basically what happened to Spirit Breaker. There is he was relatively middle of his health bar, and Terrorblade here was getting super low, so he sundered him, and that just turned the entire tables of the fight, and he ended up dying. Yeah, Terrorblade is not really the hero. He's not a hero to try and 2v1. Like you want a third person with you, so that you can take him down quickly enough that he doesn't have time to get that sunder off, because he has to be standing right next to you for it to work. And it, it takes a second to like a millisecond to hit the hotkey and then click somebody. So the faster you can take him down, the less likely he is to be able to actually do something useful. And here's sort of the problem that we ran into, is that I was solo lane against the Sven, who was level 5. We're even on levels, but I was always mana drained because of the Keeper of the Light who kept showing up. And I always felt like I was at half health, and I never had enough mana for my my heal spell, so it kept not getting very much farm. Yeah, see, and at half health I get stunned once. Yeah, there's not. So try to. He just hits me one more time and I'm dead. And I have 6 last hits, 1 denied.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh wow, that Magnus only has 1 last hit so far. That's not very. That is less than ideal.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay. Well, he wasn't. Ember Spirit. Where was he laning? That he's only got 1.
Dire's top tower is
Weird.
under attack.
Oops. Sorry about that. Alright, so that was a 3v1 up top. They did get the Sven. We're even on kills at this point. Things are sort of starting to turn around. You're pretty much even on last hits.
Dire's bottom tower is under
No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted... Yeah, net worth. You can see... It's still relatively even as far as net worth goes. We're only... Yeah, the Sven is only 300 ahead of our Ember Spirit, so this is actually pretty okay. Still fairly even. I'm at the bottom of the net worth chart once again. I got some wards in the stash. Yeah, I just haven't. Because I take damage every time. Every time the Sven hits a creep while I'm trying to last hit. Also, his Stormhammer is level 3 now, so he does plenty of damage. With his stun, it's just a situation where it's really hard to lane against, because he's level 7. I'm like, oh, I should have been able to do better this lane. I'm not sure. Yeah, Coddleblat, they're sort of just, there's not much I can do to keep them from constantly pushing the lane. At least not by myself. And that's kind of the problem that I'm having up here. Mid lane's going pretty well. They're just taking out their Orgrimmar Magi there, that's pretty good. Although 3v1, kind of unnecessary. So Sven's rotating down.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, so Spiritbreaker charges in, and that's pretty much all she wrote. Yeah, so that let me pick up some gold because I kind of stole that. I didn't necessarily do that on purpose, but kind of a little bit on purpose, just because I felt like I was so far behind that I really needed the money. It's like, yeah, off of this I'll be able to buy a wand and some more wards and fly that stuff out to me, and I'll be able to be a little bit more useful. Oh, Sven, okay, Sven's already got a Mask of Madness. And he's got Tranquil Boots, which I'd probably go for. I'd go Treads on a Sven. I don't know. I'm not sure that's the best idea. Basically, because the way Tranquil Boots works is they give you a lot of regen of health and mana, as long as you're not hitting things. The thing about Sven is most of his damage comes from hitting things. So, like now he's regenerating a lot of health and mana, but he doesn't need to because he's full health. So if he had, if he had Treads, he'd be hitting a lot faster, and he would have extra stats that would make him even more tanky. Like this gives him a little armor, and it gives him a lot of regen, but it doesn't really do much else for him.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh yeah, that was not ideal from Magnus there. Okay, Spiritbreaker got caught out. Slowly getting chased down. Not sure why. Oh god, the stuns. Yeah. So. Yeah, and at this point, yeah, I kind of guessed that this was happening when the match was going on, but I wasn't certain, and now that I'm watching the replay, I can tell. Yeah, it's just Sven is moving into the jungle, and he's going to just farm up a storm, because the way this works is, with Mask of Madness, he gets lifesteal. So, you see these creeps, they're damaging him, but he's also getting life back every time he hits one. Also, every time he turns this on, he gets a burst of attack speed and damage, so that he can take these creep camps really, really quickly. And now he is, yeah, he's far and away. He's almost 1,000 ahead of. Oh wait, he's more than 1,000 ahead of Ember Spirit, and 1,000 ahead of Spirit Breaker, and he's just that's going to keep going. From there. Spirit Breaker sitting in base. Let's just watch this for a while. Oh yeah. Fun times. Anyways.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Not sure what's going on there. Yeah, I'm just trying to get some wards down. Oh yeah, this I remember this actually. I think. Come down here, put down a ward. I think. I'm trying to remember what I was trying to do. Oh yeah, I think I was gonna put one. No. Yeah, I don't remember. Oh yeah. So let's see what happened there. We'll just see. Yeah. All right. So he tries to get away, gets stunned. Oh, he just barely got stun locked there. All right. So if he had placed that that Ember, the spirit of the what is that guy's name? Ember Spirit here. If he had placed his Fire Remnant like just there instead of there, he would have dodged the stun and he would have been fine. Because the Echo Slam wouldn't have killed him if the Fissure hadn't hit him, so that was just kind of bad luck. Just a tiny, tiny positioning error that that kind of cost him his life, which is a little bit unfortunate for Ember Spirit and me also because I am on his team. Alright, so yeah, Magnus transferred into jungle to try and catch up. Spirit Breaker standing around again. Yeah, I feel like this was our mistake this game, is that we kind of didn't farm. Oh yeah. Alright, so that was actually a pretty good play. I waited to the last minute to use my heal because I wanted to get as much, you know, right-click damage done to the Earthshaker before I turned it on, and then my teammates rotated in, and we just were able to get a pick off there without me dying, which is always nice. Oh wow, that's actually
Dire's top tower is under attack.
that's an okay ward.
Dire's
I
top
think
tower has fallen.
I think this spot over here would have been better, or maybe over here next to this. It's just I wanted to see into this Roshan pit here, and that's not how it ended up working out. Oh, I completely whiffed my spell there. Big mistake. But we get him anyway. So that's good. That's a decent pickoff. But again, you see, while all this is happening, while we're getting all these pickoffs, Sven is still just farming the jungle. See, there he is. Just taking creep camps, not being contested at all. Just, you know, totally, you know, farming up a storm. And we kill 3, but we're not doing anything to stop this from happening. And that's going to be a problem later because we're only ahead by 4 kills. And they've taken 2 towers. 3 towers? 3 towers. Mostly because of Coddle, because he's so good at pushing.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And yeah, it looks like it's still, you know, feels like it's kind of a close game just because we've pulled ahead on kills here. But you see, yeah. If one of us is out of position for too long at all, the Terrorblade just sort of rotates in and kills us. Because the thing about their lineup is it's really well balanced because Terrorblade is really good at farming in lane. He's really strong at taking taking lane creeps and taking towers. Sven here. Oh, we did actually end up getting him somewhere. Here, let me just. Yeah, so we took down the Earthshaker. The Sven rotates in to help. The stun only hits Magnus. I managed to hit him with my heal spell. Yeah, the Spirit Breaker might have lived there if Magnus here had been a little bit more aggressive and stayed and right-clicked Sven a couple times for that. But that was an okay play. Less than ideal. You see, he's already got a Reaver. And a Bracer, and the Mask of Madness like we talked about, so he's actually doing really well. But the thing is, he takes creep camps really well because he naturally builds into the Mask of Madness, and his Great Cleave ability gives him the ability to take creep camps really fast, so he can just farm the jungle, while Terrorblade is farming all the lanes. Meanwhile, also, Coddle, Keeper of the Light here, can just push waves like so. Boom. You know, there goes, you know, half the creep wave.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Also, he can, you know, he can break other people's mana, and he can give mana to anybody else on his team. And then they've got an Earthshaker here, who also needs a lot of mana. And an Ogre Magi here, who we talked about last game, he needs mana. So the Keeper of the Light can just run around, giving these the sort of support and off-lane heroes tons and tons of mana, so they can keep spamming out their spells, so they can constantly be fighting. Alright, so Spirit Breaker is going to try to 2v1 here. Yeah. So...
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
yeah, so now Sven is tanky enough that my healing spell doesn't actually do that much damage to him
Radiant's
anymore.
top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Not sure why I'm being pinged on. We did get a tower bottom while that fight was happening.
Radiant structures are fortified.
But yeah, so the enemy team is really balanced because the support actually helps out. You know, a lot of their heroes can also push out lanes really well, and their two carries are not, you know, sort of tripping over each other at all, trying to get farm on the map. Whereas our team, I'm the only real support hero, and I'm a little bit mana dependent. Like I need to at least have a wand and some mana boots to be really useful. Because we haven't really talked about my spells, but I've got that heal and damage spell. I've got Repel, which it basically blocks magical damage, or blocks all spell damage. I've got Degen Aura, which slows the attack speed of enemies that I'm fighting, and I've got my ultimate ability, Guardian Angel, which blocks physical damage. So I can make one of the heroes on my team immune to magic damage, and everybody on my team, if they're standing close enough to me, immune to physical damage. So I'm really good for team fights, where all 5 on my team are fighting all 5 on their team. But the thing is, Ember Spirit is really good at getting pickoffs. Magnus is really good at getting pickoffs. And Spirit Breaker is really good at taking pickoffs. So my team doesn't really want a team fight very much, and as an Omni Knight, I'm not really supporting them all that well, just because I'm not that mobile really, and I can't be at all of at everywhere that they're fighting. Also, usually you want to have 2 supports on the team so that there's not just one person spending all of their gold on on the support items, because that can get kind of expensive, and then you end up with a really weak hero in the late game. You've got one hero on your team who is like always going to have a target on their back because he's clearly going to be the weakest. Alright, so ooh, that was a narrow escape there. If they had gotten vision of me, I would have just gotten wrecked. Okay, Spirit Breaker is going on somebody. Oops, sorry. Alright, so who is he going on now? Alright, he's going to try and solo kill Keeper of the Light under the tower. Alright, that might work. Alright. Oh, he might even get the tower too. Wow, that's pretty good. What did he build into? Okay, he's got a Mask of Madness, just like Sven does. He got Treads, and looks like he's going to build... Not sure what he's going for yet. Maybe a BKB. That would be a good pickup for him because it would let him dodge the Keeper of the Light spells, and the Sven stun, and the Earthshaker stun, and all of Ogre Magi's spells. Alright, well, they spot him coming across the map. Alright, and he cancels mid-charge. Oh, wow. That's a good Fisher. Alright, so this Earthshaker here, that was a really good Fisher. He caught 2 of us, so we were really far apart. That basically turned the team fight, and that's 4 of us down. So, yeah. This is... Alright, I'm not sure what he was trying to hit with that one. But, now we can start to see... Alright, we've got 10,000 gold on Sven. He is... 4,000? No, wait.
Dire's middle tower
A little over 3,000 gold ahead of our highest net worth hero. If you look at the graphs, you can see it was we were winning up to this point, and then it started to seesaw back and forth, and now it's sort of starting to go up in favor of the Radiant as far as gold goes.
Dire's
Oops.
middle tower has fallen.
Oh wait, no, that was XP. This is gold. They were way ahead in gold, and we pulled even, and it's been back and forth, but now it's starting to go back up in their favor again. Mostly because of that last fight. Not a lot that I could have. I don't think I had the mana for my ultimate there. If I did and I didn't use it, that was a big mistake on my part. And see, now Sven is farming up our ancients, which were stacked. 7,000 gold. And he has Heart of Trask, which we talked a little bit about last game. It gives him 300 health and 40 strength. And because he is a strength hero, all of that all of those strength points translates directly into damage for him. So like last game when the Necrophos picked up this item, he's an intelligence hero. So the plus 40 strength just gave him more HP. It didn't give him any damage. But in the case of Sven here, he gets a point of damage for every, I think, 2 points of strength, so he gets an extra 20 damage from that, which is a fair amount. Also, he's got a Hyperstone, which gives him 55 attack speed. You can see he's attacking much faster than he was early in the game. You know, and he basically 5-shots all these creep camps now. So you see him rotating through the jungle this fast and not really dying. Here, let's take a look at scoreboard.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, I've died the minimum time. I've died only 2 times on my team, and the Sven has died only 2 times on his team. So that's kind of an issue when the carries on your team are dying more than the supports are. Just saying. Well, Phantom Lancer here has picked up Diffusal Blade, which is a really smart pickup. He's got a Ring of Aquila and Tread, so he's got attack speed, and he's got stat boost from the Treads, he's got an armor boost, and stat boost from the Ring of Aquila, and he's got a little bit of damage, a little bit of armor from the Diffusal Blade, and... oh wait, no. A little bit of intelligence, sorry, okay, so we've... fight coming in, Fissure onto 2, I get blown up, and PL gets blown up. So a 4v2 engagement is, at this point in the game, is really not going to work out for us. I mean, there's just not much that 2v4 can do when they have that much lockdown, because they've got the stun with the Fissure. They've got Keeper of the Light has his ultimate turned on, so now he's got where is it? Blinding Light, which knocks back heroes and gives us a mischance so that we do less damage during the fight. He's got his big wave attack. Terrorblade is hitting for the 250, almost 260 damage, or no, almost 160 damage. Alright, well that was pretty good sleight of fist from the... oh wow. Well, we pick up the Terrorblade and the Earthshaker there. And the Keeper of the Light. So yeah, we're ahead on kills. That was a bad use of my ultimate there. Yeah. Well, we took 4 in that engagement. Oops, wrong one. But as you see, that puts a dent in their experience lead, and a dent in their gold lead, but not that much. just because they've taken so many towers at this point. And the Sven has been virtually uncontested. I mean, he's died twice, and he's been farming in the jungle for about 20 minutes now. And it's about to get his, he is about, yeah. So he just bought the recipe for an Assault Cuirass, which is an item which will give him a bunch of armor, plus everyone on his team will get 2 armor, plus anyone in an area of, on my team in an area of effect around him will lose 2 armor. So if you look at, say, me, I have 9 plus 5 armor now because I've got this mechanism. So I've actually got a pretty decent amount of armor, but 2 of that is going to be taken away just from him standing next to me. So that's going to end up being a problem later in the game. Yeah, and okay, so it looks like we're grouping up to go on Terrorblade here. We missed with the skewer. Oh yeah, that's right. Here, let's back that up. I want you guys to see how this works. So we went on Terrorblade, but then in comes Sven. Stun on 2, and then I just get completely blown up before I have a chance to do absolutely anything. Yeah. Yeah, so at this point, Terrorblade has an Eagle Song, which gives him 25 agility, which translates, yeah, he's... Oh god, he does so much damage. Yeah, and look how fast they take down these towers and barracks. It's ridiculous. Oh, jeez, look at that. Look at that. Oh, man. Alright. So, yeah, this is kind of what happens when 2 enemy carries basically get uncontested farm for the entire game. The thing about picking a lineup that's really focused on getting pickoffs is it's very important that you spread those pickoffs around on the enemy team. Like, you can't just... I mean, sure, if you shut down the enemy supports, that's a helpful thing, but if you never kill the enemy carry, you end up in this situation where he's basically 3v1ing these guys, and he's winning. And he just hold out forever until one of his teammates can rotate in, and then he just automatically gets a kill. So it's a little bit of a frustrating thing. Oh, wow. They're getting really aggressive. Yeah, and now the smack talk comes out.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this back and forth was all about. This is fair criticism coming from the Sven here. We did all pick carries except for me. Well, yeah, the reason that Spearbreaker feels like he's 1v5ing all the time is because he constantly charges into 1v5 situations and gets killed. But not that I'm salty or anything about this game. Not like we were way ahead at one point at like the 14-15 minute mark. It's not like It's not like we pulled ahead for a brief shining moment around the 10-minute mark, and then we just sort of all threw it away by constantly being spread out all over the map. Oh, you guys want to watch the kills? All right, here, let's watch this happen. So yeah, we're doing good as long as my ultimate's up, and then oh no. Yeah, so we can kill supports. Mechanism keeps us alive. But you see, we have to run. The three of us have to run away from one enemy hero at this point in the game, just because he's so tanky and he does so much damage. And there's nothing we can really do about it. He's got 17,000 gold. My god. And we've got a butterfly coming out over on Terrorblade, who is still alive and pushing in the bottom lane. Yeah, so the thing about Terrorblade is that he spawns these illusions of himself, like this one here. And they do... Oh god. Alright, so here it comes. Here comes the Sunder. Oh no, we actually did get him that time. That's actually, we did pretty good there. But it did, again, it did take all five of us, or four of us, to kill one guy. Anyway, he spawns illusions of himself that do, at max level, they do 60% of his damage. To put that into perspective, PL spawns illusions of himself that do about 20% of his damage. And he's a fairly standard illusion here. Like most illusions that are spawned in the game don't do more than, say, 30% damage. But Terrorblade's just do so much that he can really push in any building that he wants. And now that he's got this butterfly, which gives him 30 agility. Well, let me back up. The way that the illusions work is it's not 60% of his total damage number. It's 60% of the 172 here, and that's based off of his stats. So, like, because he's gotten a butterfly, which gives him so much agility, 30 agility, now his illusions will be hitting even harder. So, the shorthand for watching illusion heroes when you're playing Dota is you look at the white number to figure out how powerful their illusions will be. So if you look at, let's say, PL here, you know, he maybe hasn't done necessarily the ideal job with his illusions, because, you know, he's got 102 damage outside of this number. So not all of his damage is being used by his illusions. And Roshan goes to the Radiant again. Excuse me, I'm getting a little tired tonight. Anyway, but part of that is the Sanjin Yasha. And that's just he gets the chance to stun, and that gives his illusions a chance to stun. I think, I'm not sure if they get that. I know they get the mana burn from Diffusal Blade, which basically the way that works is every time him or his illusions hit something, they take a little damage to their mana, as well as their health. So it's really useful for picking off supports and stuff, or for, you know, reducing the number of spells that get shot out in a fight. Alright, so there's three of us going on Terrorblade here. Oh god. Does he get the sun? No. Oh, but the Echo Slam! The dunks! So yeah, at this point in the game, even their supports are wrecking shop. Because, well, Earthshaker, you can play him as an offlane hero also, so he's technically kind of a carry hero, but he usually plays a support role. He's got... God, spend your money, dude.
Dire's middle tower is
Anyways, he's got an Aghanim Scepter, which upgrades his ultimate so that it does even more damage than it normally would. He's got a Blink Dagger, which lets him be super mobile. He's got Arcane Boots, which let him spam out his spells, and a Bottle, which does the same. Yeah, he's really dangerous, and he's level 22 now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top
Yeah, so now they're pushing in 2 lanes at the same time.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
OPL. OPL. Alright, yeah, so you see the mana burn that I was talking about from Diffusal Blades? He doesn't have any mana for his spells now because he's constantly being hit by these PL illusions, and it's counteracting his regen. Oh, whoa. Yep. Yep. I just get wrecked. That was actually a pretty good skewer, but at the same time, I mean, we're winning these battles, like we've traded evenly here, but we're clearly losing the war. Yeah, at this point the game is pretty much over and everybody knows that we're kind of just messing around. Oh, the stun! He almost got him into the fountain. Oh, we get him, but it's just an Aegis that we've popped. And then Terrorblade comes in. See, the thing is, while we're fighting over here, this is happening. Yeah, I mean, so... we get those 3 kills. They all have buyback, though. Meanwhile, Terrorblade just wrecks shop on all of us. And that's a rampage, guys. Yep. Good game. Anyway, so yeah, that's the last game that I'm going to show you guys for the night. Once again, this is an Extra Life stream for Extra Life Los Angeles. If you guys don't know what that is, there's links down below on both of the channels that you might be watching this on. Yeah, we are a fundraising organization. We raise money for children's hospitals all across the U.S. and Canada. And if you're interested in getting involved, you know, let us know. Huh. That's odd. That should be... I did not abandon that game. That's weird. I'm gonna have to look into that. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. If you are interested in getting involved in Extra Life, there's links below. Oh wait, no, I don't want that. So yeah, have a good night, guys. Thanks for watching.